What the?
Should be good. That's good.
All right, perfect. All right, is everyone set?
Yep.
All right, welcome to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z news. Today I'll be asking the three different systems some questions. All right, capitalism, we're gonna start with you. What are some pros of your system?
Well, some pros are capitalism gives people an incentive to work harder because the harder you work, the more successful you could be. Individual performance is valued. Capitalism encourages competition. Buildings will be of better quality on average. Capitalism can help to increase GDP, and lower consumers' prices, and better quality of products, and encourages international relationships.
Do you guys have anything to say?
Well, to be quite honest with you, I don't know. I just feel like in a capitalist society, because people need to work so hard to make their way up, I just feel like workers would get exploited.
Well, they could be worked hard, but the more harder they work, the more money they get, and it would be much more better for the economy, and the country could succeed very well.
Okay. A con that I have is capitalism could lead to homelessness because the poor are getting taxed the same as most people.
It could lead to homelessness, but if you find a job and continue to work that job and work hard, it should be pretty easy to live a good life.
But like, say you're born at a young age in or not so good area where it's hard to make money, you're kind of put in that situation where you can't prevent it. How do you fix that? How do you get out?
Well, that should just give you more motivation to work hard, to continue to work harder, so you can get out of debt and just poorness in general. Yeah.
All right. Anything else, you two?
That should be good.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next question. How is your system set up?
Well, the system is founded on a few pillars. Some of these pillars are owning private property, self-interest, competition, a market mechanism that determines prices in a decentralized manner through interactions between buyers and sellers, freedom to choose with respect to consumption, limited role of government to protect the rights of private citizens and maintain an orderly environment that facilitates proper functioning of markets. And those are the kind of pillars that set up a capitalistic government.
You guys have anything to say about that?
No, I mean, that sounds about right.
All right, so the next question we're gonna ask is, why is your system better than the two other systems?
Well, capitalism is the greatest economic system because there's numerous benefits and creates multiple opportunities for individuals in society. Some of these benefits include wealth and innovation, improving the lives of individuals, and giving power to the people, and it also allows individuals to participate in actions within the market based upon their own interests.
You guys want to talk about anything?
It's a fair system. I mean, all that makes, capitalism sound great, but there will always be that underlying situation of the lower class just being stuck in the lower class.
There's always an opportunity to work harder though, and that'll give you power, and yeah.
But you understand though that your form of capitalism makes it much harder than any other form. It's not very equal. I mean, the higher class, I think, works less than the lower class. The lower class has to put in a lot more hours to work, make their way up. It's kind of an unfair system.
But at the same time, in some of the other systems, you can only get so far up. Here, you can just keep growing. There's no stopping. You're always gonna keep on growing if you keep on working.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you the pros of socialism now.
Alrighty, so some pros of socialism. So in general, socialism just creates a more equal society and increases social cohesion. And not only that, but it can promote the protection of the environment and all that sort of good stuff. Not only that, but in a socialism setup, everyone has their own choice in what they want to do. Anyone can pick any career path that they choose. The government also helps fund welfare systems, which gives poor people necessities to live and give them a better chance at, getting out of those lower level classes and stuff like that, and having a better chance to succeed in the society. So overall, socialism just tends to be a very equal form of government.
You guys have anything to say about that?
Yeah, welfare state can create disadvantages to work.
While this is true, I understand that our government spends a lot of money on welfare and all that sort of stuff, but it really is for the better of all of people.
Yeah, and another con is the higher tax reduces incentives to invest your money in work.
Yeah, that can be understood. A lot of people say that, and that will lead to slow economic growth, but I just feel like if everybody in the country is on the same even level playing field, there's a lot of room for improvement, and that everybody can really work themselves up if everybody starts at the same place.
Anything else? All right, so I'm gonna ask you another question. How was your system set up?
So socialism is basically set up based on a public ownership. This means that all resources are shared, and that the government works together to equally distribute goods and services among citizens and everybody inside that.
So I actually have a question about that. If you're giving resources to everyone, aren't you basically communism?
No, it's not communism. So basically, I can understand where you're coming from, but inside socialism, there's a lot more freedoms than communism. Like I said, for instance, the workforce, people get to choose employment, where they want to work, what they want to do, all that sort of stuff. So it's not quite as strict as communism, but I can see where you would definitely be misunderstood there.
All right, so why is your system better than the other systems?
I just feel like it's a lot more equal. It puts everybody on the same playing field. Where you have communism, it's just, communism is rough for a lot of people, and they distribute all the goods the same, but those governments really lack to grow from there, so everybody just seems to be all impoverished over, everybody just equally getting better and better and better. And then when it comes to capitalism, there definitely are some higher sides of capitalism where people work harder and they get what they earn, and they are definitely successful, but that lower class really does struggle to make their way up.
Do you have anything to say about that, communism?
No.
Nothing? All right, then we're gonna go on to you. What are some pros of your system?
Yeah, so communism as a whole can help close the gap between the poor and the rich. So like everything's equal. There's no gap between there. Everyone's gonna get food supplied to them. No one's starving like with capitalism. It may improve the overall safety of the country. It's gonna be a safe country. It can reduce the social tension in society, and it prevents monopolies. So there's like no companies just taking over. That's about it.
All right, do you guys have any cons?
Yeah, I'd like to say that, in communism, many communist countries in history have, they seem to be a little underdeveloped and stuff like that. So wouldn't you see that in communism it would be quite popular for people to migrate to other countries? And how would you get them to stay?
Well, they're not doing it right, Communism, we're learning over time. They need to learn that everything's equal. It's going to be their best opportunity. We want equality. Why would you go to a different country if you're not going to get equality?
Okay.
So I actually have a question about that. So in communism, most of the leaders take like 90% of the resources.
Yeah.
Why are most of these countries doing that instead of spreading it equally throughout the government and everyone?
Well, our idea is that the leaders are the most important people. So they deserve this most powerful person on the planet, in the country. They deserve that 90%. The other people, they're still getting equally the same amount as the others. It's not the leader, because the leader is the most important person.
All right.
One more thing is, a lot of your people in those communist places don't have very much freedom. Why is that?
Well, if we give them too much freedom, it's gonna go insane, you know. Places with too much freedom, even the U.S., there's riots that happen. We don't want that. We want a calm, collective country. We don't want no craziness.
All right. We will move on to the next one. How is your system set up?
So pretty much the government controls the healthcare. We increase the poverty level for a good reason, so we can control the people more. We also increase the debt level to produce more poverty, just like I was saying before. We get rid of guns, so there's no crazy stuff happening. Take control of food, so the food is getting distributed evenly, and housing and income. We take control of what is taught, so they know what is right in the country. We remove the belief of God in the government and schools, and we divide people. We get rid of the middle class.
So it's either you're at the top or at the complete bottom.
Well, the wealthy class is like the higher ups, so like within the government, and the poor, like most of the people there are like considered poor, I guess, because they're just the regular citizens evenly. So it's not really like, I don't know. They're equal.
All right. Do you guys have any rebuttals?
No, that seems alright.
None? All right. So why is your system better than the others?
As a whole, I think the people are being treated as they should, because every citizen should be equal, and equality is the key here. That's pretty much it.
All right. So the government is better than the regular citizens then?
Yes,
They deserve
because
better
they know
treatment?
more.
They know more?
They're the wise.
All right. Do you guys have anything to say about that?
I just think that's a little unfair, you know? I mean, to just assume that everybody in the lower class is not worthy of anything greater than what they're given.
Yeah, the lower class just doesn't even have a chance to work their way up. They're always going to be stuck at the bottom.
Exactly.
Well, with capitalism, it's kind of the same way. You kind of there's some situations where you can't work yourself out.
There is
always
an
will
opportunity.
be an opportunity. to work.
Yeah, but like there's always
I-
they're always equal for communism.
I will agree that capitalism does make it harder, but in communism, there is just absolutely no chance.
No chance.
Yeah, because they're living their best life. They're equal, man. That's the key point here. They're equal.
But being equal doesn't mean, you know, being wealthy and being
Yeah.
proud of what you've accomplished. You know what I mean? I mean, and take for example North Korea. I mean, you can only get like one of 8 haircuts. You know what I mean? Like it's just communism can definitely have its extremes depending on who's in power, and that's definitely the case with North Korea. So I just think it's a government system that is set up and can fail quite easily.
Yes.
Anything else about each other?
I think that'll about do it.
All right. That was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z News. Goodbye.
What?